and I couldn't say anything. For 20 minutes, they were ranting about all these terrible genocides. You know, like, I'm like, why is nobody interrupting them? What is going on? Like,
JB, I didn't smoke you out.
Say that one more time, Pikachu.
I didn't smoke you out.
Smoke me out? No, I don't even know what that means.
You said you got a lot of smoke from your Jewish buddies.
But here's the truth. You know, I really thought about it when I got off. I don't give a fuck. Because if you're my friend, you respect my thoughts and my feelings and what I see.
Yeah, dude. 100%. You got your views, you got your own thoughts. That's up to you. Thanks for sharing them.
I've been the biggest supporter of Israel, Zionists, and Jews on this app, bar none. And if I have an opinion that doesn't align with the other sheep that walk in line, then I don't care. Because if that's a community that don't want me because I have my own views, then I don't want to be part of that community.
Well, because you've got a bit of beef with some Jews yourself, it doesn't mean that you can't be shouting for what's important. You're on the right side of history, JB. You got to remember that. Whatever beef you got with other Jews, that's your problem.
Let's keep it.
I'm sure you'll sort it out.
Pikachu, let's keep it real, bro. The Jews on this app have an elitist arrogance about them that just doesn't resonate. And I'm not saying you, if it don't apply, let it fly. But the truth is they do. And I'll say it if they were in this room, whether it was El Normo or some of the other Jews on this app, they think that what they say is right. And sometimes, you know what? They're not right, bro. They're just not. And I think as Jews, it's our job to call them out. Because when you spew that shit, when you come off as arrogant and entitled, guess what? That just stokes the flames of anti-Semitism. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but you can say that about any community.
But you know what? I do every day. I talk about the black community, Latino community, Asian community. Today I spun the wheel and landed. Hold on, I wasn't finished, bro. I wasn't finished though. Today I spun the wheel and it landed on Jews. Because Jews should get as much smoke as anybody else. We're not the only persecuted, oppressed people in this world, man.
Man, you sound like a guy who needs some therapy. I got a good therapist for you.
Why do I need therapy? On the 5 minutes ago, you were saying. 5 minutes ago, you were saying I have a right to feel how I feel. Now I need therapy.
You do, but anybody who feels like that needs a bit of therapy. We all need therapy, JB. Everybody on this fucking app needs therapy. You know.
I guess I'm a self-hating Jew today, because that's what I've been labeled.
I don't need therapy.
I go to therapy twice a week. I don't go. There's no shame in therapy.
I didn't say there was.
Okay.
So on stage, that says that he supports the IRGC.
It's not enough for me to say I agree with Israel, what they're doing to Iran. That's not enough. It's not enough for the thousands of pro-Israeli rooms, the thousands of dollars I generated for Hash's family. It's not enough. You see how he fled? He fled. Because I'm right.
Because they have no accountability. That's why, JB. They have none. They have no accountability with their arguments whatsoever.
I mean, the same people who support the IRGC or Hamas, like, these are the same people crying about women and children dying. I mean, you sanctioning these these primitive barbarians is the reason why women and children are dying. Like, why? Like, if you don't feel bad for why should I? You know, like that.
Hey, let me say something here, Simon. Hold on a second. Since I got on this out today, there's already been, that I know of, 3 rooms with my name in the title. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And then some of my Hebrew brothers came in, and I said, and we were having a conversation. I said, yo, tell me, has Israel ever done anything wrong in the world? They're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, what was that? Give me a couple of examples. And they deflected. They went to Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah. See how that works? But then this ass clown will say, well, you shouldn't talk on your community. Why can't I? But it's okay if Joe Schmo from Idaho says something about the Jews. You'll have that conversation. But when another Jew calls out my community, nah, not good. That's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Well, they're bullshit people. What do you expect? Anyone who cares about peace in the Middle East, we're looking, prior to October 7th, we're very much looking forward to the finishing of the Abraham Accords, We wanted a peace and a business relationship with Israel and the GCC countries, and the block of bullshit, Neanderthalic bullshit that's been blocking this greatness from happening is Iran playing puppet on a string in Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. So we're living a time of globalization. The GCC is changing, including Saudi. They want to have international tourism. They want to bring the world there for entertainment and vacationing. I mean, just the world is changing. We don't all want to hate each other. But the Ayatollah wants to play his little puppeteer games. This is the cost of it. And unfortunately, people are going to die.
Well, Robbie, my whole thought was this, man. Why is, as a Jew, and I'm going to say it, why is the Jewish community, why are we not allowed to speak on them? Right?
Speak on
I can sit all day. Listen, bro, every day I open up rooms, we talk about the black community, what's going on there, Latino community, what's going on there. But God forbid, another Jew holds the mirror up to the Jewish community. Oh no, he's not really a Jew. He's a self-hating Jew. All these fucking labels. You know what? Fuck that. Because the point I said was this, man. This shit going on in Gaza is 2 years and 2 years plus now. And we're still at the same point. What's the definition of insanity, Robbie? Doing the same thing over and over, hoping for different results. It's not working. Yeah. Can we come up with a different plan that works?
There is a plan, though. I think Bibi is doing it, though. I've said this, JB, earlier. You weren't in the room. Whether there is a revolution or not, I'm not moving to Iran. I'm American. I have no benefit from who's gonna be empowering Iran, But if you get rid of the mullahs, if you get rid of these people spreading all this ideology of hating Jews, if you get rid of them, this whole thing will stop. The reason it can't stop is because they keep fueling. They'll be quiet for a little bit. They keep stirring this war, and it will not stop until they are in power. And they're doing this with all these countries there. Don't you see, like Teddy? I asked him. I'm like, "Are you Iranian?" He's no, but I support Iran. Luvik, I see Iranian. No, all these people, none of them. Like there's like for every 50 people you see on this app supporting IRGC, one is Iranian. The rest of them are the Muslim brotherhoods from other countries surrounding them, and their goal is to just like cause problem. And who's teaching all of this to them? IRGC. You get rid of them, this is going to die. It's going to be so weak, and that's why they're like so sad. They don't want IRGC gone.
Well, here's the thing, right? We have Teddy, hold on, respectfully, hold on. Like Daniel's on stage, right? Daniel and I have shared 1,000 spaces. And here's the truth, no bullshit. I have so much love, respect, and admiration for this man. He's a proud Zionist. Good. But in my opinion, right? A real man, a real Zionist will stand up and say, wait a second, I support Israel, but there might be a problem in this area over here. Listen, Sarah, I support Israel going into Iran. A year ago, I said there has to be regime change. Nothing's going to stop over there unless there's a regime change. Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, because they're the ones that stirred the pot, the shit stirrers, Iran. But let's not forget about what's the plan in Gaza. What's the plan over there? No one has a plan. Daniel?
I don't think there's anyone that criticizes Israel more than Israelis. You can see that most of the articles that are exposing stuff or are like even against Israel would come from Israel, from Haaretz. This whole rape story about this Palestinian with the video, it all came from us. It came to a doctor in the IDF. It was the prosecution in Israel. It was the Israeli TV that broadcast it. We are doing it, and we are and we're doing it not for the world. It's for us to know. Like if someone is, for example, raping in the IDF, the IDF is the people's army. We don't want to have rapists there. So this is why we prosecute it, not for the world. So believe me, if there is any other, like you say, maybe there's another solution. If you have it, bring it. Seriously, bring it.
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, and people may not agree with it, Daniel. But I think move the Palestinians out into Egypt, to Sinai, whatever you got to do. Clean up Hamas, and then move them back in. And I'm not talking about 5-10 years down the road. because we've decimated Hamas so much, there can't be that many of them left. But did this ground and pound situation, and the truth is, Daniel, I don't blame Israel for the starvation that goes on over there, by the way. I blame Hamas. They steal the aid.
Do you remember what they told us, all the pro-Palestinians at the beginning of the war? You cannot kill Hamas. Hamas is an ideology. And that is true. Hamas is the name of an organization. If tomorrow it will break apart and they will call it, I don't know, the peaceful core of Palestine, and same people, same ideology. The problem is not the name of the branding. The problem is the ideology. And if it seems like that we need to fight not only alone, but while the world is also holding both our hands behind our backs and looks at criticizes, and completely ignores the other side. So we're in a not easy, normal situation, still trying to do our best.
Daniel, how many times have I said you can't kill the ideology? 1,000,000 times on this app? But people are like, no, we got to kill Hamas. Yes, you kill Hamas today, they're all gone. Tonight there's Hamas 2.0 because of the ideology.
Yeah, that's why the objective is to demilitarize Hamas. Basically, if they are with their ideology but no weapons, and then hopefully after the war there could be some kind of a rehabilitation both for the strip and for the people, then yes, there's a chance without weapons.
You can't kill Hamas without weapons. I tell you how.
Can I ask
Are you ready to?
What?
Daniel, I have a question. Other than IRGC, who else has been funding and training and helping Hamas the way they've been doing?
Qatar.
JB,
I'm not trying to see if IRGC is gone, what is the next threat? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because honestly,
maybe Qatar will have to kind of recalculate their allies, and I think some allies of Iran are now watching from the side, do we want to kind of align with the loser basically, or kind of pull out? And maybe Qatar will have to kind of make some changes. They put a lot of money into this operation of destroying Israel with the IRGC, so they were doing the funding of Hamas and doing the propaganda arm and Al Jazeera, and the IRGC did all those terror organizations, basically building this ring of fire around Israel with all those terror organizations on our border because Iran is too far. That was the plan, and now it's kind of disseminating. And Qatar, I'm not sure it will work.
Daniel, JB, you guys can't kill Hamas without firing a bullet. Are you ready to do it?
Oh, we can't kill Hamas without what?
Without firing a bullet.
We don't need to kill anyone. They need to release the hostages, put their guns down, and it will be over with not a drop of...
No. Wait. All what you need to do is give them equal rights, and then they will be dissolved in the society, just like South Africa. What South Africa dissolved.
Equal what?
Equal rights.
Yeah, I'm confused.
You give them equal rights in your country.
Hold on, everybody mute up. MG, you were going to say something?
No, I was just, don't compare South Africa to Israel. That was real racism. That was real apartheid. I hate when people do that.
Just
Not
give
even
them,
close.
just give them equal rights. That's it.
So wait, let's all we're gonna say Hamas is equal to everybody, and just forget about the 1,200 people.
No, not Hamas, not Hamas.
Let me finish, man. Okay, Hamas is the government of the Palestinians right now, unfortunately. So we have to recognize them as equals, even though they slaughtered our people on our land.
No. You give the Palestinians, all the Palestinians equal right. Then they will run away from Hamas, and Hamas will be powerful.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sean. Who was providing all the water for the Palestinians and electricity? Was that Hamas or was that Israel? When Israel didn't have to.
Israel is selling them. Is not providing. Is selling them. Okay, but that doesn't mean they are giving them equal rights. Well,
they are not Israeli, Sean. I mean, why would we give them equal rights? The Palestinians that chose peace and stayed in Israel in 1948 became part of Israel. And if you look at the Declaration of Israel, in the Declaration of Independence, we call to anyone that wishes to stay, hold on. And now they're equal right citizens as you want.
Okay.
But we are not the government of Gaza. They don't need to have equal rights.
Okay.
Their governments need to give them. But sweetie, their governments need to do it, not us.
Wait, hold on.
We are not the government of Gaza.
Sean, hold on. Did you call him Sweetie, Daniel? Oh am I hearing things? All right, let's go to Dave. Dave's trying
No,
to jump.
sweet pea, not sweet pea.
Oh,
That's
I
not
thought
you.
you said sweet pea.
Give me the
That's Moki.
Sean.
Hold on. Let's go to Dave. Dave, you gotta talk louder.
Yeah, okay. Sean, how do you give the equal right to a population Gaza who have been brainwashed the moment they learn how to speak to kill Jews? How do you give equal right to such people, right? On October 7, 12,000 civilians from this brainwashed Gaza that you want to fight for equal rights so that they can continue to act like a civilian, continue to keep killing Jews, and continue to, after getting equal right, go to wherever the Western nation and hunt down every single Jew. Is that the equal right you want to fight for, Sean?
Dave, you can create Gaza in every single place in the world by besieging people and
Sean, where
not
you from,
giving them
Sean?
rights. You can
Sean,
do
where you
that.
from, Sean?
I am from Syria. Okay.
Okay.
You can do the same. You can do that in New Jersey. You can do that in California and everywhere. If you put the Hispanic people in an area and strip them of their rights, you will have problems. The same thing. It's not magic. It is reality. When people have equal rights, then they have no real motive to fight.
What is
They
a
have equal
people?
rights.
What is a people?
You can create the same problem of Israel and Palestinians in every place in the world, okay?
But Sean, those are
So
two
it's
different
simple.
nations. They can have like, how about, for example,
You
taking the
live in the United
Sinai?
States with
No,
nations,
hold on,
with
please.
thousands of
Sean,
people nations.
Sean,
With
if they
equal
want to have their
rights.
own nation, Sean, Israel is our nation. It's our country, okay? We're not letting anyone equal rights. It's just like, you're trying to cover something
you
up.
have to
Wait,
suffer
hold on,
until you...
please, let me answer. You cannot ask for people that are not citizens of Israel to have equal rights because they're not citizens. Any citizens of Israel, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Arab, whatever, they have equal rights. So in Israel, we have equal rights. The Palestinians want to have their own state. So if you want a solution, not giving them rights in Israel, giving them rights in their own country, which is what actually was done in Gaza. But maybe give them territory. The Arab world has like good spaces. They can give them the Sinai. I don't know. Preferably more far away from
you're
us.
not telling the truth. You know that you're not telling the truth. You know.
Which part was not true?
Well, this
You
is
know,
not, this is not
Palestinians
a
belong to
disingenuous
Palestine, and
conversation,
Palestine.
Dan,
Hold
they
on a
know.
second, Sean, listen. I have very few rules in here. But one of the rules is when a lady mod is speaking, we let her speak. Yeah, Ninja.
Oh, I'll make this fast. Daniel, this is a very disingenuous conversation because they know that if they become the majority in Israel, it's no longer a Jewish country. And they just don't want Jews in the region. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're so
And you-
fake. You guys
I'm
are
not sure
so
they
just
know,
liars.
MG.
No, they know.
I think it's always, this entire cause is wrapped with free Palestine and equal rights, and it's all kind of sugar-coated
It
to
sounds
sound
pretty.
like they don't.
Yeah.
Free Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait.
So many
Yeah.
people just go along with it. They don't necessarily know the greater plan.
Free Israel.
Hold on. Sean, mute up, please, because I'm tired of hearing your voice, to be honest. Let me say hello to Diablo. Diablo, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, JB? I got a quick thing I wanted to share with everybody in the room and on the stage. I've been trying to figure out for my life, what sense does it make if you don't have missiles coming in trying to kill your citizens to go and attack Iran? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense. I get the whole thing with we can't let them have nuclear weapons. I understand it. But you got other countries that support Iran in the shadows, like Russia, China. These countries, even North Korea just shocked the world by supporting Russia and sending their troops over there. You have these countries like North Korea that will happily sell Iran a dirty bomb, a nuclear bomb for the right price. So even if they do destroy the refineries and they can enrich uranium, they still have all this money. It's a country. If they purchase that stuff on the black market, they could get it over there to Israel, and then you have a catastrophe on your hands. It just doesn't make sense. You guys were at peace. I'm talking about Israel. They had a quick little scrimmage. It was over with. Then all of a sudden, Israel is like, what it appears to me is this. We have a kid on the block. He's smaller than everybody, but he has two older brothers that everybody's scared of. And I believe that Netanyahu, however you say his name, he's running with that. He knows America's going to be pulled into this conflict, and he could care less. I really believe he could care less about his own people. And I just land my plane up.
Thank you. Before anybody responds, thank you. Diablo, El Normo, you want to respond?
Yeah. What was the last thing that you wanted me to respond to, Jay?
Diablo, give it your quick, concise question again.
Diablo, give the question, please.
Okay, the question is this: How can the Israeli people put their trust in Netanyahu and feel he's out to protect them when everyone knows you could purchase this stuff on the black market? A country like North Korea for the right price, it's an old saying, an enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Okay. So if they know American soldiers are going to come over there and our military is about to get involved, why would North Korea not give Iran a nuclear weapon?
Let me ask, there's a few different levels here. Let's start with the last one. If North Korea gives somebody else a nuclear weapon, they're in serious violation and they're going to get in huge trouble. This is why nuclear weapons don't pass among countries so easily. Number two, the International Atomic Energy Commission on June 9th said that Iran is racing towards a nuclear bomb. They're escalating their enrichment of uranium. It's a serious concern, and they brought it to the UN Security Council, which is a special council that deals with threats to the world. Number three, why do the Israeli people trust Netanyahu? I would say they trust Netanyahu more or less as much as people trust Trump, which is a little bit yes and a little bit no, and it depends on the day. So Netanyahu's done an incredible job in winning a war on 7 fronts. Hezbollah to the north, Yemen to the south, Syria to the east, Hamas to the southwest, Iraq they took out of the equation, if you'll notice already, and now they've had the greatest victory perhaps in military history over Iran. In 2 days they own Iran skies. They're taking out their weapon systems at will. The air defenses are completely gone. So although we knew that we would take some incoming, and we did, I think we're up to about 30 dead in Israel. It was a calculation that he made in order to remove the head of the octopus who's been attacking both the United States and Israel. That is to say, the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide regime. How's that for an answer?
Can I add to it as like why I trust Netanyahu as an Israeli?
The gentleman who asked me the question, I forget your name already. I'm not looking at my phone. You satisfied with that?
I heard you.
Are you satisfied with it, Diablo?
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right, you have any questions based on what I said?
Can I add to it for a second?
I want to hear if he has any questions so far before we get too deep. Diablo, do you have any questions, criticisms, comments?
No, I'm good. You can let Daniel go ahead.
All right.
So, a few points. First of all, there are 3 objectives to the war. The nuclear program is one of them. There's the ballistic missiles program. There's another one. And I don't know if you saw, they can cause a damage, and they were sending like barrages of like 50 or 100. But if they throw 1,000, they will overwhelm our defense system, and that will create like havoc. And they actually said that they want to do it and kind of wipe Israel off the map. And the third one is that the Quds force is basically the force that is creating all those Houthis and Hezbollah and all those proxies that we have around us to attack. Now, Netanyahu doesn't make those decisions alone. He's making it with the Mossad and the IDF. Both of them are like the people's organization. They are by the people, for the people. None of them is like, would do something against Israel because of Netanyahu. It's not an autocracy. It's not a dictatorship. It doesn't work like this. People are very professional, and we trust them. We have full trust in them, in the entire professional army that we have, the professional Mossad and the amazing intelligence that we have, and we trust them. Not just Netanyahu. Netanyahu is at the end the one that needs to make the decision, but he cannot just say, I say there's a atomic bomb ready and let's go. No, it doesn't work like this. It goes the other way around. They give him the information. He just needs to say, I'm doing it on my watch.
Daniel, I just JB, I just want to add, what is really Gaza Palestinian? Are they people? Who are these people from the point of Sunni Islamic nation, from the Shia Islamic nation, right? So actually for them, these people are just weapon, nothing more, weapon. The question is today, Jordan King is in European Union fighting again for two-state solution. The question is why? Because first, the Hamas is one of the tentacle of IRGC, right? And Iran is pretty much close to be potentially replaced, right? So the Sunni Arabic nation, they are celebrating inside now. Finally, we are getting a Shia nation out. The moment the Shia nation came to Iran in 1979, immediately the Sunni Arab nation get nervous. Oh my God, finally a Shia nation coming again, right? They fought them back in 1500 to 1700, but now 1979 they are back again. So because of that, the Sunni nation through Iraq in 1980 to 1988 start the Iran-Iraq war. It's all about Sunni Shia. The question people here have to ask, what is next to use Palestine as a weapon from the Sunni perspective, because Shia is gone? What would Sunni want out of Palestine? One thing, to make sure Jewish nation never take over the complete the mountain. What is it? The temple. The Jewish people want to build the third temple, and the question is, if Shia Iran is gone, what is the bargaining power to control Israel so that Islam mosque is remain in that place and to prevent the Jewish build the third temple? Because it's all about religion. Okay, I will go further later and let people think about. Nobody care about those people in Gaza. They are just weapons. Period.
Well, MG, Sarah, Marshall, all the mods, you guys want to keep it open? Because I got to go.
It's up to everybody else. MG, Marshall.
So you insist on keeping Israel as a Jewish state. You don't
Maybe
want
you
it
wanna
to be.
I don't know, Marshall, do you want to keep the room open?
Well,
I
listen,
would, yeah, I'm not going to be paying too close attention.
well, I'm not at El Normo. He could run it. But Norm, please, for the love of God, let people talk.
Okay, sir.
Thank. All right, guys, I'll catch you.
Who is next? Here's just the thing. I want to set the tone of the room. When we make a point, let's make one point at a time. That's all. And discuss the point, not 12 points. And then if somebody says one thing, then the other person says something else, and we're never really shedding any light on the matter. We can't get to resolution. That said, who would like to go next?
I go next. So the question is, Syria in this big picture? Iran will be soon gone, right? And Jordan, the Sunni nation, trying to lobby for one part of European Western nation, which is Europe, to go against US, and in order to confuse the situation using Palestine, Gaza as a weapon to confusion, the question where is next? Syria is equally important in the big picture. Sean, do you have anything you want to add to it?
Well, Syria was given to Al Qaeda by United States and Israel. Now it's controlled by Al Qaeda. Israel, thanks to Israel and United States, Al Qaeda now controls Syria.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead, Alpha.
Good evening, folks. This is interesting. The Middle East is an interesting place. It's funny, if the United States intervenes for the good of the people to remove these bloody regimes, then all of a sudden you are jingoistic, you're trying to destroy our way of life and governance, and if they don't, then all of a sudden you guys have no moral authority, you have no moral compass, you just want to see us perish under these regimes. Then there are the conspiracy theories to ad-lib in the background that there's a big cabal, some Jewish rabbi underground near the Earth's core doing some Kabbalistic magic to control the world. This is the problem with your simplistic and moronic explanations, Sean. Really, this is the problem. This is the problem.
No. You could have given it to some good people, not to Al Qaeda.
Well, tell me these good people, please, in the Middle East.
No, there are good Syrians. There are good Syrians.
Give me the
There are
good
good
people.
Syrians. There are good
Hey, give me the
Syrians.
good Syrians.
You couldn't find better than Al Qaeda.
Okay, give me the good Syrians. Give me the good Syrian that does not want to destroy the Jewish nation, that does not want to spread pan-Arabism, that does not want to Arabize everybody, and that does not want to control the Middle East. Give me those good Syrians, please.
So you think Al Qaeda is good people, right? Is good people.
No, don't answer a question with a question.
Well,
give me those good Syrians or those good Iraqis, please.
any non-Islamic terrorists are good.
Like who?
Okay.
Like who? Like who? The Orthodox anti-Semites?
Syria, it has 30 million people, okay?
The Orthodox anti-Semites?
No. Syria has 30 million people, okay? Those Al-Qaeda and what about, they are probably constitute about 100,000.
What about the Kurds? Sean, what about the Kurds? Could they have given it to the Kurds?
The Kurds are good, yeah. They're good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good, yeah. You
Okay.
could have given it to the Kurds, but you chose not to.
And you think the Arabs
on
would have
giving
said,
it to Al-Qaeda.
and the Arabs would have been fine with that?
We're not fine with Al-Qaeda.
No, they would have been fine with the Kurds in authority.
Well, if they see them acting justifully and honestly, they wouldn't have a problem with that.
You mean the way the Kurds are prospering in North Iraq
Yeah.
or South Kurdistan, and how Baghdad is doing everything in its power to block their progress? And the Arab League in support of it? See, this is the problem, Sean. This is the
Okay.
problem.
Well,
No
you couldn't
minority
find
has
better
ever
than
been able
Al-Qaeda?
to thrive in an Arab majority country. Do you know why? Because Arabs have this syndrome that Ibn Khaldun mentioned 800 years ago. You destroy the buildings so that you can take the contents and build your tents with it. That's the problem.
Well, you give Syria to Al-Qaeda, okay? That is a shame.
Wait a second. You said somebody gave Syria to Al Qaeda?
Of course.
How can anybody? Wait, hang on. How can anybody give a country to somebody?
Okay, by supply them with weapons,
Okay.
by
So
supply
what-
them
okay.
with
So-
intelligence, by supply,
Okay.
by
So-
empower them, by have the European Union accept them,
One point at a time. One point at a
by
time.
having Trump shake hands with them.
Sir, 1 point at a time. Okay. So, what happened in Syria? You had a butcher in charge who killed 650,000 Sunni Arabs, a butcher named Bashar al-Assad, who was basically a part of Iran. That happened, yes?
He was not a butcher, okay?
Okay,
He was a
we're
leader.
gonna have, he was a what?
He was a leader.
How many people did he kill?
There was fight with the Islamic terrorists and
Okay,
many
that's
people
not a number.
killed.
That's not a
Many-
number. Okay,
listen,
you're not gonna
I don't
answer,
have a
Sean.
number, but there
Since
was
you're not
lots of
going to answer, Sean, hang on. Since you're not going to answer, I will answer. 650,000. He didn't just butcher them. He cut them into pieces with carpentry tools and tortured them. This is a matter of fact. And he's been doing it for decades. He committed genocide. That's Bashar al-Assad, a tool of Iran. Iran committed genocide in Syria. This is a fact. Now, what is your next point? So Israel eliminated a terrorist army of Iran in Lebanon. And that same terrorist army of Iran, called Hezbollah, was propping up this butcher. This is a question of fact, in Syria. And when the terrorist arm of Iran fell, so did Bashar al-Assad. Right? Anything you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with you describing bad words for President Assad.
Okay. So shall we look up now how many people did Bashar Assad kill? Should we look it up together? Let's Google it together. All right? How? Okay.
Well,
We're gonna Google it. How?
There was battles.
No. How many people did? Let's look it up. No, I don't want your excuses. No, let's look it up. How many people did Assad kill? Okay, I just put that into Google. All right, hang on. You do the same thing. Don't believe me. Let's look. Let's see what Google says. All right. Okay. Summary of Assad regime's crimes against the Syrian people. All right. Extrajudicial killings. At least 200,000 civilians, including 23,000 children and 12,000 women. Are you with me so far?
Well, who put this information? Oh, this information. Who put this information?
I just Googled it. Why don't you do the same thing?
Well, Google, the internet full of disinformation. You know,
Okay. Yeah, but do the same thing. Now let's go on. Enforced disappearances. 96,321 enforced disappearances, including 2,329 children and 5,742 women. Deaths due to torture. Are you keeping count here?
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
15,102 deaths due to torture. This is a lot of people, including 190 children.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that to his own people?
Okay, that's a good question. Because he's a butcher. Okay, let me keep going.
No, he's not a butcher. He's a doctor.
Let me keep going. Okay, Bashar Assad's regime, 81,916,000 barrel bombs, resulting in the deaths of 11,087 civilians.
That's disinformation. You're just quoting disinformation, okay?
No, sir. What do you mean it's disinformation? I asked you to look it up. Look it up yourself. Why you don't believe it?
Being on the internet doesn't mean it's true, okay?
Sir, look it up yourself.
And Norman, let me speak.
If it is on the internet, doesn't mean it's true.
I didn't say it's because it's on the internet,
you keep saying, and Norman, information is misinformation. So you claim a lot of things. How can we say you are not based on misinformation? Sean? Second thing. The whole thing is all about Sunni and Shia, right? So who is backing Bashar? Shia. And who is Bashar killing, like what Norman say, all these 250,000 or whatever? Sunni. And then what happened?
His wife is a Sunni. His wife is a Sunni.
His wife is a Sunni, and he killed 650,000 Sunnis, and torturing many of them.
And what happened when you start killing Sunni? You create a lot of refugees. What do they go? All in Europe. Okay? So everything is all about
7 million refugees.
And for that, Israel has to empower Al-Qaeda to take over Syria.
Well, no, I don't want to get to Al-Qaeda. I want to get rid of the butcher first, and then we can talk about the next.
Look, we are approaching long-term Middle East peace plan.
Assad.
Yeah. We are approaching long-term Middle East
peace plan.
He's
not a butcher. He's a
No, sir, he's a butcher. He butchered those people. He butchered those people.
John,
Netanyahu is a butcher. Netanyahu is...
No, sir. Netanyahu didn't kill those Syrian
where do you
people.
get your
Bashar al-Assad killed those people, sir. Let's not lose track of the conversation.
But Israel has the same problems as other Middle Eastern countries now.
No, I don't want to switch over to Israel. We're talking about one person now, Bashar al-Assad, not but Israel. This is not a but Israel.
No.
We're talking about the elimination of a butcher who butchered over 650.
I thought Assad fell.
Arabs.
Why is he relevant?
Yeah.
I thought he's gone.
Because we were explaining how we got to the situation in Syria now. That's how.
Yeah. And it's always
he felt
Sunni
like, what,
and
a few
Shia.
months ago.
Sure.
It's always Sunni and Shia. Okay, so right now Israel finally getting rid of this root of the problem. There is not going to be Shiite Islamic nation anymore. There will be only Sunni. Okay, and because of that, no more killing. No more killing.
You think the problem is only Shiite and not Sunnis? You're saying Sunnis don't kill anyone?
The problem is Sunni and Shia since 1,400 years.
It's just a question. It's just a question.
Yes. I want to
It was a disingenuous question. You know he wasn't saying that. You're trying to troll him.
Okay, I apologize. But I just want to ask in a good faith. Okay, do you think that the only problem in the Middle East
Nobody thinks that. Nobody said that. So please don't be disingenuous.
Nobody said that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the conflict between Shia and Sunni since 1,400 years. It's not just Sunni. It's not just Shia. The fact that you have this true faction keep fighting each other since 1,400 years. We have always problem in Middle East, and what they do in modern time is they bring this problem to the West, right? So first they have to train people, brainwash them, and send them to U.S. universities to study, and also put money donation to U.S. universities, start training all the anti-Semitic people. The whole idea is they fight each other. Sunni and Shia fight each other, but they don't like to keep this fun among themselves. They spread it to US, they spread it to Europe, right? And then keep making sure people like Sean going around keep saying whatever you say are misinformation. I'm the only one speaking the truth. Now we have to learn. There are a lot of people like Sean. They are trained to go around and say your information is misinformation. Whatever you get from Google, ChatGPT are misinformation. We do not trust ChatGPT. We do not trust Google. They are twisting the truth and then keeps crying and crying. Baby are dying, children are dying, until you gave up completely what is really truth. No truth. As long as you're dealing with them, no truth.
Who's them? Can you point to a nation? This is a genuine question.
I know.
What nation
Iran
is
is the first one. Syria
Okay.
was the second one. Iran and Syria were responsible for hundreds of thousands of
That's a question. Oh my goodness. You said they.
And you are posting
Okay, when you use the term, excuse me, Dave, when you use the word they for me to follow the conversation, okay, I just asked the clarification. Who's them?
Exactly, but then you put word into my mouth. Say nation. You should ask the question.
I asked which nation. It's a question. Oh my God.
Iran and Syria.
I just
well, a normal answer. Okay, he said Iran.
Potentially, these are Muslim Brotherhood. These are not nation. This could be a certain fraction population of Muslim, and this could be 15 to 30%. These are political Muslim and jihadist Muslims.
So
these are not nations.
So Dave, you're saying that this is something that is like that doesn't belong to specific borders. That it's like a trans global movement, basically. Is that okay?
Yeah, trans global movement, which is part of the fraction of the Muslim population. It's like somewhere between 15 maybe to 30%. They are political Islam, radical Islam.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I just think that people are very scared of the concept of nuclear weapons, and Netanyahu is arguing that Iran has nuclear weapons.
Well, they should be afraid of Iran getting a nuclear
Of course.
weapon.
No, but I don't want any place nuked. Not Iran, not Israel, not anywhere.
Only one country has threatened to nuke anybody, and that's Iran.
No, Russia has also has made the claims.
I haven't heard Russia say they were going to nuke somebody.
Yeah, they have.
India has.
When did Russia say they were going to nuke somebody?
They haven't said they'll nuke. Obviously, Putin's not smart enough.
Okay,
like,
so then only Iran has said they're going to nuke somebody, as I said.
And who did they say they'll nuke? Is that Israel?
America and Israel.
Okay. So they are chanting death to America. Now here's the problem.
No, I'm saying that they said they're going to nuke America. What's the background going on?
Is it me? Oh, it's my air conditioner. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's very intrusive.
Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing, normal, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Americans, there's a fraction of Americans, this is what I want to try to ask you. isolationists who believe we're not involved in the Middle East, so on, and they're rebelling against Trump, and they're arguing that is this a real weapons of mass destruction or is this fake like Iraq where they didn't find weapons? What is your answer to that?
The situation is this. North Korea.
Why are you even asking? Wait, Dave, give me a second.
Yeah.
Samia, what is your question?
My question is, are the American public...
said that they're getting involved. Yeah.
No, they're not. But I
still can't hear you. You're not near the phone. Would you mind talking into the phone rather than being on the desk and talking from across the room?
Can you hear me better now?
Well, now that you're speaking into the phone, yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the question.
On the desk and
okay, so here's the thing, right? A lot of Americans that are with Trump believe this isolationist first America argument, which is that we don't want to get involved.
About these Americans.
I wasn't done though, but okay, never mind. Because you're sexist and you don't like to answer questions. Never mind.
I love to answer questions. I just said, what is your question?
Okay, my question is...
And why would you call me sexist?
Because...
I'm probably the least sexist person you've ever met in your life.
Oh my God, Sarah, okay, she's coming to clean me out. Okay, move
Sarah, let me talk.
Okay.
Sarah,
okay, Sarah.
Attack him.
I didn't say you. I said him.
It doesn't matter.
I want to hear the questions.
No, I can't, Normal, because you have your bodyguard here. Okay, thank you.
No, I want to hear your question to me. Please say it.
Okay. The question is that... Okay, so the American first people are rebelling against Trump. The question is, does Iran has fucking weapons of mass destruction, yes or no? That's what everyone's scared about.
Iran had weapons of mass destruction.
Netanyahu doesn't say that?
He never said that, no.
No, never. Okay, you're bluffing. No, that's my only question.
You're not being honest. What's your question?
I never said you're dishonest. I'm saying that you were arguing that this is not a... Okay, Netanyahu, who's the leader of Israel, said that Iran is 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from weapons of mass destruction. Yes or no?
He said a nuclear bomb. He said it's uranium, not weapons of mass destruction.
Okay, so a nuclear bomb is not a weapons of mass destruction, no?
Well, what you're saying is vague, and I'm being exact. Because weapons of mass destruction was Iraq, I don't know what, 20 years ago.
Normal, you're manipulative. You're manipulative.
No,
I'm done.
I'm not manipulative. I'm being precise. I'll tell you what Netanyahu said, and then you can ask the question if you have one. Netanyahu said that Iran is racing towards creating a nuclear bomb, and that the most dangerous country in the world does not have the most dangerous weapon in the world. That's a quote. And the International Atomic Energy Commission agrees. So American intelligence
is gone.
And Israeli intelligence and the International Atomic Energy Commission agree. So what's your next question?
And Norman, she's gone.
Every time you answer the question, they run away. Why is that?
No, because her intention is just to create confusion. It's the way they are being brainwashed. They only know how to contribute to confusion.
Dave, this is a really disturbing sign.
I know, it's the way how they're being teach, brainwashed. They only know how to contribute confusion. They're not interested in truth. They use this to create TikTok and all this thing to increase their influence status and this thing. Truth is
the what status? What?
Yeah, I mean they could be doing like TikTok. They could be recording whatever we say to promote themselves. They're not interested about truth. They just want entertainment.
I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Sorry?
I said I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Ah, I see. So you know her. Okay.
Very dishonest. I asked the same question of the Palestinians. Now you've been in the room with me, right? Now these are people. Oh, Palestine, occupation, babies, all of this stuff. So I asked two questions: which part is occupied? You know what they usually say? All of it. In other words, they wanted to destroy the state of Israel. What?
this pro-Palestine movement is now a lifestyle, right? So it's an interesting lifestyle. If you are Hollywood, you say pro-Palestine, you get business, you get to play in a movie and all this thing. And anyone who stand up and say, I'm not pro-Palestine, they are kicked out of Hollywood. It's just a lifestyle.
I say, which part is occupied? They say all of it. Maybe you were there. I said, really? What else is New York occupied? Yes. How about the Vatican? Is the Vatican occupied? Yes. Then I say the other question. When did this land become yours? Since when was it ever your land? And you know what, Dave? They never, ever, 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 ever have an answer. You want to know why? Because they know very well it was never their land. They're just lying. They know, and if you ask them a direct question,
the most interesting part is like recently, right? Somebody create a movement, right? So people from Europe, people from Canada, US, they all come to Egypt with the aim to try to get to Gaza, right? And try to with their presence, just like Reagan. Yeah,
I saw that.
When if you hear how they talk to a group of Egyptian soldier standing as a line blocking them, this guy was just keep saying everything that a typical pro-Palestine was talking. People are crying, children are dying, people are starving. You know, they were talking and shouting, right? The Egyptian soldier not moving at all. They cannot imagine that they are here now as a Westerner and they are talking something that are going to make the Arab people, very proud, but they end up facing all kind of fight back, by the Bedouin and all these people. You see, they are completely living in a total different world. They believe the fact that by having Westerner fighting for equal right, like what this guy was saying, Sean, if you give equal right to Palestine, everything will be okay. These people, Westerner coming to Egypt, we are fighting for equal right, and they never even imagine once that there will be a fight back from the Egyptian people. They never imagined this is possible, because in their world, this is never going to be possible. They are living in a whole different world completely. That's why they can keep saying all kind of nonsense. They're not living in reality.
You're right, Dave. You're not living in reality. So that's how you're with these guys. Say to them, when did that land become yours? I know the Ottoman Empire had it, and I know then the British Mandate offered to give you a country, and you said no, and Israel said yes. So when does it become your land?
And Norman, the big problem is, how is it possible that this non-reality information could mobilize so many Westerners? Jordanian king now is preaching the same thing today